Would you date a former sugar baby?
I'm sorry. If you're a sugar baby, I find it very hard to believe that you're not giving up the goods.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
If someone told me that and I was like first three, even first five dates with them, I'm assuming that they were previously a prostitute and they're trying to like play it down by saying they were a sugar baby.
You know, this one girl, she says she's over dating people her age bracket because she's a sugar baby, a real one. She's 24 and she dates men 30 to 60, unlike the 30-year-old sugar baby who was dating 22-year-old Zion. That's not how it goes, girl.
Or unlike Khalees.
No, she's a sugar. I don't know what to call her because he's old as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, she said, she's able to travel the world. She has a roster of 10 sugar daddies. She says she's paid nearly $250 per date and claims, each one of her daddies makes her feel more respected than any of her past relationships. She says a lot of them are a bit socially awkward and shy, so it can be a bit of a challenge to get people to open up, but it's something that I enjoy trying to do. So she sees it as a challenge. She sees it as a job, and she says she gets more respect than the other relationships. Now, does this also count as a fake relationship?
No, because these are real life human beings.
But she got a roster of 10, bro.
Well, I mean, hey, she's got 2 weeks covered right there. 2 weeks and she's got a couple days for vacation. That's a full time job. She's good to go.
Full-time job. It is for sure. And 250 per date. That's not bad money. She's able to travel. She's young.
It's not bad at all. It's better than paying like substitute money. I think subs when we were in college, they were like, oh, after your first couple years, you can get $80 a day.
Down.
She's getting 250 plus a meal
And vacation and travel. So,
Yeah, so
that's good.
It's pretty damn good.
I don't know, man. Like, how do you think? Do you think that this is something that will become more of the norm? And would you date a former sugar baby if somebody did this for a few years in their past? Like, would that affect how you looked at them? If someone said, back in the day when I was 24, 25, I had like 10 guys and I would go out.
10 guys is crazy. 10 guys is crazy because I'm sorry. If you're a sugar baby, I find it very hard to believe that you're not giving up the goods.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, I would find that really hard to believe, especially with a roster of 10 guys. Like, if someone told me that and I was like first three, even first five dates with them, I'm assuming that they were previously a prostitute and they're trying to like play it down by saying they were a sugar baby. That's how I would view it, because that person at that point is a stranger to me. I don't know anything about them, and this is their prior lifestyle.
What if they told you this when you're in a deep relationship with them and then you already love them and like, oh, we're going to be married? And it's like, oh, I have to tell you something before we get married.
Then it's over, because you
Damn.
waited that long to tell me about the. It's not just like, oh, I had 10 serious relationships. It's, oh, I had 10 people that were giving me money because I was dating them, and I kept this lifestyle from you until now when we're about to get married. Like, that'd be like if somebody spent a lot of time on OnlyFans and then suddenly like you're about to walk down the aisle and they're like, so I used to make a lot of money on OnlyFans and I didn't feel comfortable telling you. Like, that's a big secret.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, just don't tell me. I don't want to know. I'm like Mario Wines. I don't want to
Yeah, but what
know.
happens when you Google Rosalina0328 and then you see her busting it open on the internet? Like, that's gonna be.
That's different than the sugar baby. I'm just saying, like, I feel like this shit happens way more often than we realize as men.
You think
Being a
sugar
woman,
babies?
100%, man. Every girl I've talked to has gotten random DMs from guys trying to offer them money all the time. So it happens very frequently. How many of those guys are bots? I don't know, because we get bots too. How many of those guys those messages actually work? I don't know. We see Shaq. We see Shaq still doing it. So they're out here, man. The internet makes it very easy. So for me, it's like, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Like, I mean, there's a limit to things I should know about people's past, but yeah, I don't think it's a good look. I
Mm.
mean, I'm happy for her. She's open about it. Her face is in an article. We're talking about it, so someone's gonna know about her, and I'm sure someone will accept it because she is worldly woman now. Like she has a lot of experience. I'm sure there's some socially awkward guys out there. Type of guy to hire a girlfriend is the type of guy to settle down with a girl like this. So there's someone for everyone,
It's so funny. She looks like just your regular degular kind of girl,
right?
and she's getting to the bag.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for her and the socially awkward guys. Because this one woman in Australia, she got married to an American. This guy from Texas, and the day after he got his Australian visa, he ghosted her.
He fooled everyone.
Bro. They this guy, they met in Dallas where he's from. They got engaged 1 year later, relocating to Australia in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
They then cemented their union in a dream wedding in Palm Beach to the tune of 50K, which her family reportedly covered. This guy, he knew what he was doing. But their honeymoon was short-lived. He allegedly skedaddled in January 21 after receiving his visa, which her parents paid 10K for him to obtain.
Dang.
She said that nobody knew what happened to him. He cut ties with everyone, even his best man in the wedding.
Wow.
And he took off in Australia, man. She later ended up, rebounding with her high school ex, and she, had a kid with him. But she was heartbroken after this, man. What do you think about this? Getting the visa and then bouncing.
That's a pretty crazy bait and switch. I mean, she's an attractive woman too.
Yeah.
And he just completely dipped. She said that he ghosted everybody, mutual friends, the best man from the wedding, his own family. Nobody knew where he was.
Yeah, he was obviously going through some other shit that he wasn't being upfront about.
Yeah, this is pretty strange.
Do you think if he wrote her an essay beforehand that she would have known?
Would have saved her from making the wrong choice? Probably not, because they got all the way to the point where married. Not only $50,000 were spent on the wedding, but also $10,000 for his visa.
Yeah, all her family spending that money for him to leave her ass.
Yeah,
It's fucked up.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucked up to get ghosted by someone after you get married. So we talk about ghosting like in the dating stage, talking stage, but to actually go through the wedding, have the big day, get your visa, and the very next day to bounce, that's insane. That's unheard of. But
Wow.
he did her a favor because obviously, they weren't meant to be together. And she found someone that she could, live her life with. She would bounce back to her high school boyfriend. What do you think about her high school boyfriend being the hero? Like, because I was like, damn, I would not want to be that guy personally.
I mean, it seems like they both kind of moved on pretty quickly. She said that her ex, he remarried after a year.
Damn.
Yeah, within a year after they officially divorced, he was remarried. And she went back to her high school ex, which is, you know, hopefully it's a good thing for her, but in a lot of cases, that's like a step back into the past.
I mean, yeah, she seems happy.
Yeah, I mean they got a baby and everything already. It's just weird. It seems like they move so quickly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. But she got ghosted. We talk about a new fucking dating trend every week, man. They got a new one. It's called gophering, man. And they're saying gophering is the new ghosting.
I gotta tell you, I'm so tired of all this new like terminology about stuff. It's like
I'm not tired of it. I love talking about it because it's interesting. Basically, gophering is the is the concept where after you match with someone on a dating app and put time and effort into making like dates and small talk, and you pretty much like schedule a date. The person, it says like the person sucks up your witty banter and flirtatious one-liners, only to disappear at the first sign of contact. Plus, unlike ghosting, gophering stops a relationship from sprouting before it goes past the seed stage. So it's basically saying like when people are talking and they set up a date, they like unmatch
Yeah.
before you ever get to the time of seeing each other. What do you think about this? Because I've definitely realized this, in dating, using dating apps and stuff. And I feel like technology just makes it so much easier to kind of let it change your mind.
I was gonna say I feel like that's probably what it is. Maybe they relook at the person's profile and are like, you know what, I'm not actually that interested in them, and then just decide to unmatch rather than have that like nonsense conversation where they know they're not interested but they're still matched, and it's like, why am I wasting my time? I don't know. It's been so long since I've been on a dating app. I'm not up on all these different messed up ways of interacting with people and feeling like they're wasting your time and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this is just the norm these days. Like if I schedule like a date with someone, it's always like 50-50. I feel like, is it going to happen or not? Because people like just like, oh, I have other plans, or oh, I can't make it, or just not say anything at all because they forget about it or just ghost you.
What usually happens? Do you like set up a date and then maybe it's a couple days ahead of time, and then on the day of, do you confirm? Have you already been talking throughout those few days in between? Like how does that normally work?
Everything's different. Sometimes I'll schedule something way ahead and then touch base like the day of. I always make sure before like I leave my fucking house that someone's down.
Yeah.
But I've also gophered before too because I've changed my mind. I'm like, don't really feel like it. I'm like, oh, I can't make it, and it's just like, all right, like because it happens. To
Well,
me.
at least you reply though. You don't just, or do you just unmatch them?
I probably have unmatched in the past. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't make it like a regular thing. Like if I make plans with someone, usually it's because I really would want to meet them and hang out, and I feel like I'm a good judge of character. I don't need like a fucking PowerPoint or essay to know if someone's worth meeting. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. It's difficult because a lot of people, it's just like before you know them, like you don't owe anyone anything really.
Yeah.
But you don't want to literally tell someone you're gonna do something and not show up because that's fucked up.
Yeah.
So always confirm before you go out. But if you're not feeling someone, yeah, disappearing, gophering. I think it's the right thing to do because, like they said, unlike ghosting, it's not like you've met at that point.
Yeah.
But it can be frustrating, and it happens a lot. I feel like sometimes you just got to be. You can get ahead of yourself being like, oh, I can do this. And then something else pops up. Life happens. You never know what someone's going through at the same time. So, sometimes it's like if you're meant to see someone, you're meant to meet them. And if they do go for you, then, you weren't meant to see them. They're not the right person. So, at least you're not wasting time and money. Hopefully you don't show up and get stood up because that's the worst thing. Which I don't think that's really ever happened to me. Thankfully, that would suck because I usually check beforehand. Because I'd be pissed at that point. Like,
For
damn,
sure.
now I just wasted or scheduled a night and then I left my house. I got dressed. That's different. But just unmatching or something, you can get the hint. So
That's fair.
subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Spotify. Follow on Instagram,
Of course.
Twitter, TikTok. Like
All the apps. We're everywhere. We are everywhere.